Welcome back to the James and Dame Show. I'm Josiah. That's Will over there.
Yeah.
And I think this might be the last, or one of the last tier lists that we'll probably make for a while, because we want to explore other content eventually. But this time, we're going to go over tight ends. I'm going to rank them. Shouldn't be too difficult to rank them, supposedly. We'll see. So let's just get the one guy out of the way.
Which one? I could think of two.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, S.
Yeah.
If we're getting guys out of the way, I would also argue George Kittle, S.
Fair.
I practiced the names a little bit, so I think I can get through. This.
Okay.
Let's just start going down the line then from here.
Okay.
Brock Bowers. Same rule.
Same rules before.
I think he's C.
C.
I think he's a top. I think he has a potential. He's such a receiving tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to be big in the blocking game, but I think he could kind of have like a Travis Kelce like career,
Mm-hmm.
where he's just super big in the receiving game.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a chance to really flourish. Next is Cade Otton from the Buccaneers.
I don't know about this guy.
I kind of see him as like a C. He took over for a couple years ago for was it O.J. Howard?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, because he was doing better. O.J. Howard left. And Cade Otton kind of picked up, but then he kind of just like fizzled out. He's not bad. I would say C or D tier.
He's a meh tight end.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's just like, he's not great, but he's not bad. He took over for a couple years ago for was it O.J. Howard?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, because he was doing better. O.J. Howard left. And Cade Otton kind of picked up, but then he kind of just like fizzled out. He's not bad. I would say C or D tier.
He's a meh tight end.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's just like, he's not great, but he's not bad. I think he's meh to average, so
Yes.
C to D.
C to D.
I don't know where you wanna. I don't know your thoughts on him, but
C is fine for right now.
okay. Chig Okonkwo is who that is. Chig is his shortened first name. I do not dare try and say his full first name.
I can only imagine how long that first name is.
But he young tight end for the Titans. He's actually been kind of solid. Personally, and this is maybe me pushing him up a little bit. I would also say C. I would also say C, but I could see a D for now just because it's like, But I mean, he's not the most impressive. I could throw him pretty easily, I think, though, on the same level as Cade Otton for different reasons. But
I feel like it's a fair assessment. He's been consistent. I'll give him that.
pretty solid his first couple of years. He's not like a standout tight end, but
No, but he's there. He's shown up.
Team that's rebuilding is whatever. Cole Kmet. I hear a lot of hype around him. He's good.
He can be really good.
He's not fantastic in my book. I kind of view him around a B.
Yeah,
He's
I was
not
going to say a B.
He's not like a game changer, but he's a nice guy to have on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But there are definitely better options.
Yes.
Dallas Goedert.
Goddard, I think, is A.
Yeah.
He's not Kelsey or.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's not S tier.
I don't think we'll have any other S tiers.
No.
But
I think those are the only two.
I mean, I could make an argument for a couple, but I think we'll probably only end up with the two.
Just those two. Goddard is
probably like a lower A, but I think definitely could be in the A's.
He's an A for me.
Dalton Kincaid.
Kincaid did pretty decent.
He was a tight end 2, which kind of made it difficult to see how much.
he could do, but he was really solid for what he was doing.
I just liked him coming out of college. But
Yeah. I'd say probably like a B.
I'd put him at a B.
He's definitely the same skill level as like Komet. He can do more than Komet though. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, he has a much higher ceiling, and he's in a much better scheme
Oh, for sure.
with Josh Allen. So
Yes.
interested to see that. Dalton Schultz.
He's been pretty consistent his entire career. Like he's from the Cowboys to was it Cardinals and then Texans, I believe is what he went to.
I think it was Cowboys straight to the Texans.
Straight to the Texans and then okay.
I think he's
So
still
regardless,
there, so.
regardless, he's been consistent. I'd say overall he's probably like a B tier tight end.
Yeah, back on the Cowboys, I probably would have advocated for him as an A at some
Yeah,
point.
I was gonna say A if he was on the Cowboys.
And he was still good, but not as exciting as he was when he was on the Cowboys. David Njoku, A or B. He's one of the better tight ends in the league. And he plays for the Browns, and he's like one of the few guys who actually does stuff in the pass game, but also that there's a reason the pass game is not super notable in Cleveland, so that's why I'm like,
I feel like he's a pretty good tight end. I'll put him at A, only because he's definitely one of the better ones when it comes to like consistency. Yes, like you said, the Browns don't really have much of a passing thing going around, but Njoku, he knows what he needs to do. He can do anything. He can block. He can receive. He can do all that stuff pretty easily.
he was also the one who had the whole like his house burned down or whatever, and he had like
The
burns.
face burn and everything. Yep,
That was cool.
he's a tough dude.
That was cool. Yeah, I could throw him up today.
I think he's an A tier, so that's where I'm gonna put him.
It's been pretty solid. I think he's still like around Goddard at that lower end, just looking down the list a little bit. Okay, this one might disagree here. Evan Ingram, I kind of want him in A.
I was gonna say B.
He was iffy for the Giants, but since coming to Jacksonville, he's been one of the better tight ends in the league.
This is true.
The thing that I will give a nod to Goddard and Njoku over Ingram is those two actually have like a little bit more blocking to their game, while Ingram is a little bit more just of a receiver.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like I think he's been really good in the pass game. I could see a B, but that's because I think A is gonna be an unpopular opinion for him. But I think he's a really good tight end, and I think he could play up to. I think he could be valued at an A.
I'd say for me it was to give him one more year, and I think he could be an A. It's just the Giants have kind of left a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to looking back at his career, because he was really sloppy on the Giants. There's a reason why he was let go.
He had a lot of dropped balls, but I mean he's addressed it. I could see B for now, just because as a high B, I think he's upper end B.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's Fant.
No, that would be Greg
not.
Dulcich.
That's Greg Dulcich.
C or D.
C. He's kind of a meh.
Even putting him on the, I'm gonna say D.
D. Yeah, I just looked at the C category. I'm like, maybe not.
I mean, nothing against him. Broncos already didn't have much going for them.
No,
and he
didn't really do much.
He didn't add to that minimal doing.
No,
so
he was pretty bad.
Hunter Henry, who is he's a solid tight end. It's hard to judge because he has been on the Patriots. To me, kind of like I could go down to a D, but I think he's probably closer to a C.
I was gonna say C is probably where I'm gonna agree on.
Yeah, because I forget where he was before.
Henry?
Yeah.
He wasn't on the Dolphins, was he?
No.
Who am I thinking of?
Mike Gesicki.
Gesicki, that's who I'm thinking of.
Jake Ferguson. again,
B?
he seems high, but then it's like
B.
do the Cowboys just know how to make tight ends look good?
I'm gonna say a B.
I could put him at a B, but I still like Dalton Schultz more.
Yeah, I like Schultz more than Ferguson.
Um,
I believe that's who's
you
that?
got this. I believe in you. Went to Texas, and I was gonna say the other Texas guy, which was last video, Jonathan Brooks, but it's not
Oh,
Jonathan
no,
Brooks.
it's not Brooks.
Jatavian Sanders.
Sanders, that's who it is.
I think he's
D.
he's gonna be kind of like, and I think he could be compared to, which is funny, they're on the same team. But in that same realm as Jonathan Brooks, kind of just like a solid rookie, but not quite like a standout rookie, which is where we kind of have been putting those C tier rookies. The D tier ones are kind of just like he could come and play. He could be pretty good, but
We'll see. To be determined.
yeah. Jatavian Sanders, D. Jelani Woods, which I found interesting, him being the guy from the Colts.
D.
Yeah, he's not. I struggle to even say that he's the best tight end on their team because, like, I think he's kind of won out the position against Mo Alley Cox, but I think I like Mo Alley Cox more.
D. I don't know.
Taken out of context. Yeah, I could agree with these. He's not. They don't have great tight ends.
No.
They have Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, I'm Jonathan Smith. C.
He's looked like a C. It's hard to say because, again, he played with Arthur Smith Falcons behind Kyle Pitts. Kind of. They kind of played together. But then before that, he was also on the Patriots, which was also really rocky. So it's like he's not been. I'm
gonna say C. That's probably I'm gonna probably put him. C.
With how his last couple of years have gone, I can agree, but don't be surprised if he goes to because he's on the Dolphins now, I think, and don't be surprised if he comes in and he's one of the better tight ends in the league because I think he just is a good tight end who has played in really crappy offenses the past couple of years. But he was one of the sneaky good acquisitions by some people's books. Jawan Johnson.
I don't know about Johnson. One of the ones I don't really watch.
I don't know how much he fits with the guys that are there, but I feel like he should be in C. I think he's kind of an underrated tight end.
I can settle for C. Like I said, this guy I didn't really watch.
Yeah.
So
I think he's C to D. I think he could advocate for C. Again, playing for the Saints, it's hard to get any attention when you play for the Saints.
Yes, literally.
But he's not like a standout tight end, but he's a pretty serviceable. He's better in the receiving game. Again, not quite as good in the blocking game.
No.
Like some of the guys on there. He actually might be one of the worst out of the guys there at run blocking, but he makes an impact in the receiving game. Kyle Pitts, how do we go about this? Because I think he's
good.
I think he's good. I think he has A-tier talent, but we know what Arthur Smith has done there, and
I'm still going to be stuck at A tier. I'm not going to go any lower for him.
I don't think I want him to be A-tier, but I don't think I can put him there because he hasn't done it. I could say B-tier because he's made a Pro Bowl, so we can at least make that argument. But
I guess fine.
I
don't know. It's just he's a great tight end. I know he will be the future for tight ends. It's just I hate Arthur Smith because I know he's a great tight end. He will be the future. I know he's an A tier at the very least.
Well, the other interesting thing about him is he's a tight end, but he doesn't really block. He's not even like a Travis Kelce or Brock Bowers.
Is he more of like an Ingram?
He's just a really big receiver, basically. He's like he's a little bit slower, but he's really big. He's got the wide frame.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably going to be has the potential to be one of the best receiving tight ends, as basically could just play in the slot all the time.
Yeah.
Fantastic receiving tight end, and I don't just mean catch and run.
Yeah.
Or find a little open pocket and run. Like
yeah.
he's actually going to be a downfield threat. You can deep threat. He also does, again, kind of gets a knock for not being able to block as much, though. So that plus not being able to do anything in the past couple of years, not his fault, but
fine.
B.
Very high B.
Let me see. This is his year. He's finally free.
He's free. Let him flourish, please.
Luke Musgrave.
Musgrave. Yeah, Musgrave's good.
Is I don't. Okay, well, okay, but we have what? We got 1, 2, 3. He should be in here somewhere. There is three tight ends in here who are coming off of what, 1 year?
B.
Where he ranks comparatively, although this might be a little bit different. I think it's so weird. He wasn't bad, but he was not, I feel like, as much of a weapon on the Packers as we thought he would be.
Well, because they were kind of sharing that talent. It was more like everyone was pitching it kind of thing. It wasn't one player was standing out. So, I mean, for what that team was, how young it is, and how it's going to develop, I think he can become a really good tight end. I just think at least a B for me. I don't know. Low B.
Yeah, I could go B. Again, because I heard there was a lot of really good talk. I just didn't see a lot of it. He got in the game. He got, some touches, but it was never,
I watched a few Packers games.
It's never fantastic. Mark Andrews, he is one of the few who probably won't touch S tier, but I think could be argued for S tier.
He's an A for sure.
I'm perfectly fine with A. It's because
he's been consistent for most of his career. It's just he's never been to a point where he's not the best. Not the best.
No, he's not the best, but he's been
really
so
good.
He's been so good. He's effective in the run game, but he also is when we had no receivers, he was one of the top threats in the pass game. And what do you want from a tight end? I think he could argue as the third best behind those two. Again, there's some competition there, but yeah, that's Mike Gesicki. He was good for the Dolphins. He was not good for
the Patriots.
But again, how do you judge that? Because the Patriots had a
terrible offense.
Horseshit offense.
I think this is one of those ones where I'm going to put in. This isn't recency bias, but I think a C makes sense, or a very low B.
I was gonna say with Hunter Henry, I think if we make Hunter Henry low C, Mike Gesicki high C.
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't really.
Gesicki was pretty good, but they just didn't. They obviously didn't use him right.
No,
that was not a good place for him to go.
The Patriots haven't been good for the last couple of years.
Again, he's another a really solid receiving threat.
Mm-hmm.
This is Noah Fant.
Yeah.
Because he went to the Seahawks. Although he's not on the Seahawks anymore.
No. But Fant, he was all right. Yeah. He wasn't a star, but he was okay.
He was serviceable.
Serviceable.
I'm trying to think of where to put him because in Denver he was oh, this is the tight end. Mm-hmm. But then they traded him because they were we want Russell. And then he kind of I think he stayed as tight end 1 in Seattle, but obviously didn't amount to much enough to keep it because I'm pretty well. Is he returning to Seattle?
I thought so. Maybe for another year or two.
I can't.
Unless he got traded.
I might be mixing him up with Drew Lock because I think Drew Lock, because they both came in at the same time, and I think Drew Lock might be gone.
No, he's still staying at the Seahawks.
Fantas?
Fant, yeah.
Okay, I think Drew Lock left. I think he went
Drew Lock went to
Jets. No,
he went to the Broncos. Didn't he?
he came from.
No. Who am I thinking of then? I'm thinking of Zach Wilson going to the Broncos. Drew Lock, I think, Giants.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's a back.
Actually, you know what? It might actually be a decent move for both him and the Giants because he might actually turn out to be the starter.
We'll see.
Anyways, Noah Fant, solid. He's still there. I don't know why I thought he left. B or C, he's not bad, but he's not amazing.
I can argue a high C for this guy.
Hasn't quite lived up to what I think he was expected to be.
No.
Pat
Not yet.
Fryermuth, he's at least a B.
Yeah, he's a B. He's a solid B.
It's just like, does he get up to A? Because
He's not A tier yet. He can get there. He can definitely get there. I just don't think he's A tier yet.
I think he's someone who's been the best receiver on that offense. Well, at least
Matt Canada. So the same thing with the Falcons.
But I still think he's been like a top 2 receiver on that offense for however many years, while they have had like no receivers. They have George Pickens now, but he's inconsistent at times. Fryermuth has been just not fun to play against. He's kind of just like, ugh.
He's just a pain
Again,
to
I
deal
think
with.
another high B.
Yeah, high B.
Sam Laporta.
Oh, Laporta. I liked him
He
on the
was
Lions.
really good.
Yeah. A?
I don't like putting the first year guys at A.
I forgot he was first year. Probably
He'd be really
B.
heavy. He is someone who, if anyone is getting, he's one of those guys who could advocate as an A, as a first year player, especially because tight ends usually struggle
yes.
their first year,
Usually.
and he did well. Although a lot of the rookies did well.
The Lions were really good with rookies this last year. So I'm just going to say he will definitely be at least an A next year.
I don't know. It's just, can we put him in A right now?
I want him in A.
You know,
It's the same thing with Pitts.
yeah, but Laporta's actually shown.
True.
He's actually shown some. I'll leave it up to you because I had us put Pitts in B if you want.
I want Laporte in A.
Okay.
I like him.
You get one or the other.
Dang it.
Theo Johnson? Yes, out of Penn State.
Penn State, yeah. I was going to say Penn State.
He went to the Giants. F.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He's not like supposed to be the next guy.
No, he's just a.
I don't even know why he's in here and Bellinger isn't, because
I don't know.
Bellinger probably could have at least gotten a D. Darren Waller retired, so I think
Yes.
that's why he's here.
Yeah, there's a reason
he's a
why he
rookie.
got drafted.
But yeah, I don't expect him to do too much this year. I think this is going to be Bellinger's game, and I think Bellinger is actually pretty good. I think he could have gotten up to like a C. I think he could be a sneaky B that just didn't get the attention he deserved because bad offense and quarterback.
We love that.
But for Theo, sorry, we always end up with a rookie in C, D, and F. Rough. TJ Hawkinson, A.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been
A. He's been good for most of his career.
he's been a really good tight end. He was even good in Detroit, but he took an even bigger step up, getting to Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's
A.
fair. Trey McBride, he was
He was okay.
So this is the thing. I don't know why the first year tight ends this last year were actually good, because their first year tight ends are not
Supposed to be usually good, but he was
they're supposed
pretty
to
good. He
struggle.
was all right.
I think he was the worst of the guys we have, and he still like. And I didn't watch a lot of Cardinals,
I
but
didn't really either, but
he's actually one of the guys I believe was credited with just like one of those super intense characters where he's just like an absolute mad lad, and I'm like, I love to see that, but
I'm cool with a B with him.
I was gonna say
Or
C.
C. Or C.
Because I don't think he's on the same level as Kincaid and Musgrave, but
True.
I don't know. We'll see how the next year plays out. He could
He
pass him.
could turn out really good.
Tyler Conklin,
Uh,
F.
Probably.
Jets haven't had. There's a reason why I thought they should get Brock Bowers.
And they didn't.
No, but I don't blame them.
Yeah. They needed to fix their O-line. Who's
Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, Higbee. Higbee was okay.
Higbee's been pretty solid. I don't know. Is the question is, can he get up to B? Because
Probably not.
yeah,
It's like a high C maybe, but it's not up there.
he's been pretty solid with the Rams. He's been like one of the sneaky receivers on there that's like, oh, everyone's like Cooper Kupp, and now it's Puka Nakua. And it's like, well, Tyler Higbee's been there for a while. He's been
He's
been putting in work.
Hi, I'm here. But yeah, I'm cool with that. C.
Then we got Will Disley.
Disley.
D. Not super high.
Yeah, probably not anything.
I'm not super
than
high on
D.
him. I'm not like the most knowledgeable of tight ends, so I might have.
I know a few, but not all of them.
So I'm familiar with all of them, but I haven't seen a lot of play out of them. I'm not super high on Disley, especially compared to Fant. I would rather have Fant, and Fant I have valued at a C. Disley was okay, but he was not fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
He might contribute more in the run game,
Yes.
which is like, again, maybe, I don't know. I don't know the man that well. And then Zach Ertz, finally. He's interesting because he had his rise at Philadelphia and then kind of fell off, got replaced by Dallas Goedert, traded to the Cardinals where they struggled for a bit, but he kind of started to come
He's
back.
slowly moved his way up.
And he's actually, I believe, on the Commanders now.
I think so. Yeah, because he signed a deal with them. I don't know how many years, but I think it was at least 2.
Which with Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels could turn out well. Maybe. Unfortunately, the drop that he had at that point in his career, I think he's probably going to be valued around a C.
Yeah.
I think it could have been a B, but he had
Too many things happened.
he got
Kind of fell off the
pushed
face of the
down.
earth.
Okay, he's been coming back a little bit, but
He's not there yet.
yeah, I think currently he's probably around a C. He gives us this as a list. Is there anyone to move?
The only one I would argue is Kyle Pitts. I know, but there really isn't many tight ends I would move around
Yeah,
besides Pitts. I don't think there's anything that I'm going to completely argue with. I mean, I'm cool with this list. That was super easy. I mean, there's only so many tight ends, so.
yeah. There's not as many tight ends. I mean, I too also have someone in B that I would want to move up to A. Different, but
Different, I know.
I'll stick with him at B because I am having you stick with
Pitts at B, yeah.
even though one has clearly performed better than the other.
All right. This guy's had a higher ceiling anyways.
He does. It's just can it be?
Didn't happen, yes.
Can someone tap his potential?
Yes.
But
I believe it will happen.
yeah,
But anyways,
nice and brief on this one.
cool, easy list. I don't know. I don't think there will be any backlash about this one. There's only so many tight ends.
Yeah. Plus, it's also like how many. I would laugh. I would honestly laugh if someone came in here and was like, "You have Will Disley at a D? How dare you?" I'm like, really?
You care so much about Will Disley that you're going on your
You're
way to
mid-tier tight ends. Like,
Oh no.
I don't know. I don't know. People get for positions to get heated over if it's not one of the guys in A or S. I don't see
They don't care.
I don't.
They're just there. They're supporting cast. They're not. They're just here for just to be another blocker for the most part.
I understand. Like, I mean, and props to tight ends. They are a very undervalued position because they literally have the job of a sixth lineman and an
also
additional
a
receiver.
Yes.
And the ones that do it well are
Duo.
I mean, they do. They do. They have to do both jobs. They get paid less, and sometimes they are better receivers than the wide receivers.
Yep.
So
I will agree on that one.
I think it's kind of crazy, but I mean,
Oh well.
I don't know. We're kind of in an era of like, there's some pretty solid tight ends.
They're coming back, guys.
Well, they got to be used differently. That's the thing we're kind of seeing.
So I like this list, so I got nothing against it.
Yeah, and I mean it's a tight end list. Like,
Yeah, there's not much that you can do.
It is what it is.
It is what it
tight
is.
ends. I hope there's some really passionate person who really cares about tight ends who comes in and throws a tantrum over all of the poor takes. But you know, if you're out there,
We'll see.
you tell me I'm wrong.
Thank you for joining us for another tier list. I know, very exciting. But we'll get into more, I guess, detailed and more entertainment style content. We'll start working on that actually really soon. We're just kind of fleshing out a few things. It's going to be a ton of sit-down work, but
That's true.
recording it's not hard. It's just literally coming up with the stuff that's the difficult part. So, but thank you for joining us, and we'll see you whenever the next video comes out. So, see you.
Bye.